we started talking about immunology in general. Then we saw that immunology can be divided into two. We have the immune system has two types of defense mechanisms, innate and adaptive. So we're looking at the innate in details. The first two lectures, we're just looking at the first observations. We also looked at broadly how the body generally has developed barriers against invasion. In general, what we can't even classify as an immune defense system. Then we went to a rather organized defense mechanism that we talked about being innate immune, and we saw that we have quite a number of things that the innate immune system utilizes. So other than being the first being the first set of responses that are present, especially at birth, when the body encounters a foreign invasion, they are, although we say that they are still primitive, they are stereotyped, memory, but they're able then to enable the body prevent any invasion. And we saw that the innate immune system recognizes what is present on the invaders, what we refer to as pathogen-associated molecular pumps, and that the innate immune system cells have what we call the pattern recognition receptors. So they recognize these foreign agents, they recognize them, and then they're able to find ways of preventing them. So like what is present on, say, bacteria, what is present on viruses, what is present on fungi, each of the unique conserved regions within these different types of microorganisms or invaders or pathogens, that we will then serve as an alert for this innate immune system cells to be able then to prevent, of course, any invasion. And so we saw that the innate immune system will majorly use three types of mechanisms to prevent any invasion. We saw that either it's going to utilize phagocytosis, it's going to utilize inflammation, or toxicity. Those are the three main mechanisms where this prevention will occur, and the body is able to then prevent any invaders. And we saw that so far we have covered about two cells that we consider cells of the innate immune system. I think the first cell being the neutrophils, and we saw that neutrophils are phagocytic cells. They play a key role, of course. We refer to them as being CD11s or CD16s, or CD66 or CD62L. So they display all those ligands, they display all those markers on their cell surface. And we saw that we have two types of, we have two types of granules within these cells. The one that contain the peroxidase negative not have myeloperoxidase in them. Of course, we also saw that the other type of cell that is innate, we classify as the innate, is the macrophages. And we know that the macrophages are just monocytes that have migrated to the tissues. And what they do is that these macrophages are the true phagocytic cells, and depending on different names. For instance, in the lungs, they are called alveolar macrophages. In the liver, they are called Kupffer cells. In the spleen and lymph node, they are referred to as, okay, they just line the sinusoids and the sinuses. In the kidney, they are called mesangial cells. In the brain, they are called microglia. In the bone, I think they are referred to as osteoclasts, something of that sort. So we saw that they are true phagocytic, and they play a key role, of course, in preventing any invasion. And so we also looked at how, like the cascade for which PAMs, that is pathogen-associated molecular patterns, as well as the PRRs interact. And we saw that factor, nuclear factor kappa B, I think we that. And pumps that are recognized, for instance, toll-like receptor 2 would be for gram-positive bacteria. They target the peptidoglycan. Toll-like receptor 4 recognizes gram-negative bacteria. It symbolizes, or rather it tells us that this is gram-negative bacteria, and that is majorly through the lipopolysaccharide. Toll-like receptor 5, a double-stranded DNA, double-stranded RNA, if I'm not wrong, it must have been double-stranded RNA, toll-like receptor 3, toll-like receptor 5. And I think so gave you some chart to go and look at different toll-like receptors. Toll-like receptor 5 is flagellin, it will recognize double-stranded RNA. We have toll-like receptor 4, lipopolysaccharide. Toll-like receptor 1, I think it's also for bacteria, and so on and so forth. So quite a number. We have toll-like receptor 9, that is CPG, and so many. So there are very many molecular patterns that can be recognized. Body is able to defend itself